The rain stays with the window in the same patient way. It does not hurry across the glass. It does not break the quiet. It only continues, soft and steady, as though the whole night has agreed to move slowly. You do not need to do anything with that sound. You do not need to follow it closely. You only need to remain near it while it gently fills the edges of the room. If sleep has been light tonight, that is all right. Light sleep can deepen. Broken sleep can return. Nothing is lost. The night does not mind beginning again. Outside, the rain gathers in small shining paths along the pane, then slips lower and fades into the darkness below. Another line follows, and then another. The movement is so quiet that it almost disappears while it is happening. That is part of its comfort. Nothing asks to be noticed sharply. Nothing asks to be held in place. Everything is allowed to pass softly. The room keeps receiving the rain without changing. The bed remains still beneath you. The air remains soft around you. The darkness remains kind. Sometimes the mind becomes alert when sleep feels fragile, as if it must watch carefully, as if it must protect the little bit of rest that has already come. But tonight, there is nothing you need to protect. Sleep does not have to be guarded. Rest does not have to be forced to stay. What leaves can return. What fades can gather again. The night is long enough for that. So you may soften once more. You may let the body rest where it already is. You may let the jaw stay loose. You may let the shoulders stay heavy. You may let the breath stay natural. There is no better way to do this. The rain gives you something simple to rest beside. It falls on the window with a sound that is neither near nor far, neither sharp nor dull, only even. A soft line of sound. A soft veil of sound. A soft rhythm that does not lead anywhere and does not need to. It is enough for the rain to continue. It is enough for you to remain here while it does. Beyond the glass, the night is deep and indistinct. It does not show you details. It does not ask you to picture anything clearly. That helps the mind loosen. There is nothing to inspect. Nothing to solve. Nothing to follow from one point to another. Only dark space, rain moving through it, and the quiet room holding you gently apart from everything else. If sleep slipped away earlier, it does not mean the night is broken. If you woke, it does not mean rest is over. If your mind noticed the waking, it can also stop noticing. It can become quieter again. The rain knows how to repeat without strain. Again on the glass. Again in the dark. Again at the edge of hearing. Again, and again. Repetition can be a comfort now. Not because you must count it, and not because you must listen for each drop, but because nothing in this room is asking you to prepare for change. The rain is not becoming something else. The night is not turning into something demanding. The room is not shifting away from you. Everything remains gentle enough to trust. You can trust this moment without thinking about the next one. The window holds a faint dimness, a soft barrier between inner quiet and outer quiet. Inside, the air is calm and sheltered. Outside, the rain keeps the darkness alive with movement so light it almost feels like breathing. A drop gathers. A drop slides. A drop disappears. Then the surface of the glass is smooth again for a moment, before another path forms. This slow appearing and disappearing asks very little of the mind. It does not build tension. It dissolves it. Perhaps your thoughts can become like that now. Appearing softly. Lingering briefly. Slipping away without effort. You do not need to stop the mind completely. You do not need to empty it in one perfect motion. You only need to stop treating every thought as important. A thought can pass the way rain passes down the window, visible for a moment, then less clear, then gone into the dark below. And if part of you is still waiting to see whether sleep will hold this time, that part can rest too. It does not need an answer right now. Sleep does not need to announce itself. It does not need to promise anything. It can simply gather little by little, in the same way the rain gathers at the window, softly, naturally, without asking permission. So there is no need to check. No need to measure how sleepy you feel. No need to test whether you are closer. No need to ask whether this is working. You are already resting. Rest counts, even before sleep deepens. Stillness counts. Softness counts. Letting go counts. The rain continues in the same low voice, one that seems to belong to the whole night rather than to any single place. It touches the glass, and the glass softens it. It moves beyond the room, and the room receives only the gentlest part. That gentle part is enough. It spreads across the silence without disturbing it. It fills the space without crowding it. You may notice how little is required of you here. You do not need to hold the body differently. You do not need to breathe more deeply. You do not need to think calmer thoughts. You do not need to reach for sleep. You can let sleep come toward you instead. And even if it comes slowly, that is still coming. Even if it gathers in pieces, that is still gathering. A quiet minute matters. A softened breath matters. A heavier feeling in the limbs matters. Rest does not have to arrive all at once to be real. Outside the window, the rain keeps making and remaking the same delicate patterns. Thin paths of water catch a little dim light, then lose it. Small drops meet, separate, and vanish. Nothing in that movement is urgent. Nothing in that movement asks for interpretation. It is only a soft repetition, and because it repeats, the mind can stop trying so hard to stay awake for it. There is nothing new you need to catch. The night is not hiding instructions from you. The rain is not carrying a message. The room is not waiting for you to do something right. You may simply sink more deeply into what is already here. A quiet room. A rainy window. A slow night. A resting body. These are enough. If waking has happened more than once, then let this be one more soft return. Not a restart you must perform. Not a problem you must solve. Just a return. A return to the bed. A return to the sound of rain. A return to the dark window. A return to the steady quiet that was here before you noticed you were awake, and that remains here now. Nothing has gone wrong. The night can still be gentle from here. Sleep can still deepen from here. Rest can still continue from here. You do not need to begin perfectly for the night to carry on. The rain remains patient. The window remains cool and quiet. The darkness remains wide and soft. The room remains unchanged. This sameness is safe. A little less effort. A little less noticing. A little less holding on. A little more drifting. And if drifting is all that happens for now, that is already enough. Drifting is close to sleep. Drifting is friendly to sleep. Drifting leaves the door open. You do not have to walk all the way through it once. So stay here. Stay with the rain that asks nothing. Stay with the darkness that reveals nothing. Stay with the room that holds everything softly. Stay with the slow return of rest. Little by little, the mind can sink lower. Little by little, the body can grow quieter. Little by little, the night can gather you back in. Little by little is enough. The rain is still there, quietly resting against the window. You do not need to picture it clearly now. You do not need to follow each drop. It is enough to know that it is there, steady and soft, continuing without effort. The night remains gentle around it. The room remains gentle around you. And your body can begin to notice that gentleness in its own slow way. Not all at once. Not perfectly. Just a little more than before. Perhaps there is a heaviness in the shoulders now. Perhaps a little more softness around the eyes. Perhaps the hands feel quieter, or the legs feel less interested in moving. None of this needs to be measured. None of it needs to be made bigger. You are only allowing the body to do what it already knows how to do when nothing is being asked of it. The bed supports you without effort. The room surrounds you without effort. The rain continues without effort. You do not need to add anything. Breath can stay simple now. You do not need to breathe deeply. You do not need to control the pace. You do not need to improve it. The body can breathe in its own calm way, and you can simply notice how each breath arrives and leaves without needing help from thought. A breath comes in. A breath goes out. Another breath comes in. Another breath goes out. There is no task hidden inside that. It is only something steady. Something ordinary. Something that continues even when the mind is no longer trying so hard to stay involved. The rain at the window seems to understand that kind of rhythm. It falls and slips and gathers and fades, never asking for attention, never demanding to be counted. Your breathing can be the same. Quiet enough not to follow closely. Gentle enough to let it happen on its own. If thoughts are still moving, they can move more slowly now. If the mind is still awake, it can be awake more softly now. If sleep has felt delicate, that delicacy can still be enough. Softness is enough. You may notice the face becoming a little quieter. The muscles around the mouth do not need to hold anything. The forehead does not need to stay alert. The tongue can rest. The eyes can remain closed without trying to keep them closed. The small places that often continue working can stop working so much now. A little less holding. A little less bracing. A little less effort in places that no longer need it. The neck can rest. The shoulders can rest. The chest can rest. The hands can rest. And lower still, the stomach can stay soft. The hips can be heavy. The legs can lengthen into stillness. The feet do not need to go anywhere. The whole body can become a little more willing to remain exactly where it is. Nothing is missing from this moment. Nothing must be fixed before rest can deepen. Nothing must stay perfect for sleep to return. Outside the window, rainwater gathers into faint silver lines and disappears into the dark. You do not need to see that clearly. It is enough that the sound remains soft and the image remains blurred, as if the whole night has lost its sharp edges. That softness can spread inward too. The mind does not need sharp edges now. It does not need to hold onto names, plans, explanations, or questions. If any thought appears, let it remain unfinished. Let it blur before it becomes complete. Let it pass before it becomes important. Thoughts do not need to be pushed away. They can simply become less solid. Like rain on the glass. There for a moment. Then lower. Then gone. The body often grows quieter in small layers. A little more weight in the arms. A little more warmth beneath the blanket. A little less interest in moving. A little less interest in checking. A little less interest in whether sleep is close. This is enough. Quiet often gathers by degrees. So let the next breath be ordinary. Let the next moment be ordinary. Let the next feeling be ordinary. Ordinary is good here. There is something restful about not needing a result immediately. Not needing the body to prove that it is sleeping. Not needing the mind to become blank in one sudden motion. Instead, you can let everything become less active, less precise, less awake. Less effort in the jaw. Less effort behind the eyes. Less effort in the shoulders. Less effort in thought. The rain remains patient. It does not rush the night forward. It does not ask sleep to happen faster. It simply continues in the same calm voice, and that calm voice gives the body permission to stop preparing for anything else. Nothing else is coming. Nothing else is required. Nothing else needs your attention now. Even wakefulness can soften when it is no longer being watched so closely. If part of you has been waiting to see whether sleep will stay, that part can rest too. There is no need to guard the door to sleep. There is no need to stand beside it and listen. You can move farther away from that effort now. You can let the door remain open without watching it. Breath comes and goes. Rain touches the window. The body rests on the bed. The night stays quiet. These simple things can be enough to hold you. Perhaps the arms feel heavier now. Perhaps the chest rises and falls with a little less effort. Perhaps the space between thoughts has widened, even slightly. That widening matters. It does not need to become dramatic. It only needs to become a little more open, a little less crowded. The body understands quiet better than the mind does. It understands warmth, stillness, darkness, repetition. It understands how to settle when nothing keeps interrupting it. So you do not need to explain rest to the body. You only need to stop asking so much of it. No performance. No checking. No correcting. No hurry. Just the slow kindness of staying still. The rain seems farther away now, and then a little closer, and then farther again, but always soft. The window receives it. The room softens it. Your awareness does not need to do anything with it. Sound can remain sound. Breath can remain breath. The body can remain heavy. There is comfort in allowing small things to stay small. A breath does not need meaning. A sound does not need meaning. A drifting thought does not need meaning. This moment does not need meaning. It only needs softness. If sleep returns in fragments, that is still return. If rest deepens in small pieces, that is still deepening. The night does not reject small progress. The body does not reject quiet beginnings. Little by little is still movement towards sleep. So let heaviness be welcome. Let stillness be welcome. Let the dimness behind closed eyes be welcome. Let the unfinished quiet of this moment be welcome. Nothing has to complete itself. The mind can leave things half-formed. The body can sink without comment. The rain can continue without being noticed fully. This is how the night becomes easier. Not by force, but by fading. A little dimmer in thought. A little heavier in limb. A little slower in attention. A little farther from effort. And if that is all that happens for now, it is enough. Enough for the body to trust the bed a little more. Enough for the mind to stop standing so close to wakefulness. Enough for the night to keep gathering around you in quiet layers. The room remains unchanged. The rain remains unchanged. The darkness remains unchanged. You can rest inside that sameness. Let the shoulders be heavy. Let the hands be quiet. Let the legs be still. Let the breath remain easy. Nothing more is needed. The rain is at the window. The night is around the room. The bed is beneath you. Rest is already here. And now the body can keep sinking in its own calm direction, slowly, naturally, without needing to tell you exactly when waking becomes drifting, or when drifting becomes sleep. The room is quiet now. The rain remains at the window, soft and steady, but even that sound can stay farther away now. You do not need to follow it. You do not need to listen for anything in it. It is only there, like the night itself, continuing without asking to be noticed. Nothing needs to become clearer. Nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to stay in your hands. If a thought appears, it can remain unfinished. If another thought follows, it can fade before it fully forms. You do not need to complete anything now. You do not need to arrive at any answer. The night does not require understanding. The body can be heavier now. The bed can hold that weight. The darkness can hold the room. The rain can remain outside the window. Everything is already where it needs to be. Breath comes and goes quietly. You do not need to deepen it. You do not need to count it. You do not need to shape it into anything calm. It is calm enough already. It continues on its own, soft and ordinary is enough now. A breath comes in. A breath goes out. Then another. Then another. No effort is needed there. If sleep has felt uncertain, that uncertainty can become unimportant now. You do not need to check whether sleep is close. You do not need to ask whether it will stay. You can move farther away from that question. You can rest before there is any answer. Rest first. Thought later. Or not at all. The rain touches the glass. The sound is quiet. The room is quiet. Your body can join that quiet without trying to make it happen. It does not have to do anything dramatic. It only has to remain here, becoming a little less active, a little less alert, a little less interested in holding on. Less effort in the face. Less effort in the shoulders. Less effort in the hands. Less effort in thought. That is enough. If the mind keeps drifting back toward wakefulness, let it drift away again. Not by force. Not by correction. Just by becoming less interested. A thought does not need to be pushed out. It can simply fade from importance. Like rain on the window. There for a moment. Then lower. Then gone. Nothing needs your attention for long now. The body understands this. It knows how to sink by degrees. It knows how to become still without announcement. It knows how to rest more deeply when nothing keeps calling it back. So let the body do less. Let the mind do less. Let this moment stay small. A quiet room. A dark window. Soft rain. A resting body. These are enough. If sleep returns slowly, that is still return. If it comes in fragments, that is still enough. You do not need perfect sleep right now. You only need less effort, less holding, less noticing. The rest can happen by itself. The room remains unchanged. The night remains unchanged. The rain remains unchanged. You can soften inside that sameness. Nothing more is needed. The night is very quiet now. The rain remains beyond the window, but it does not need to be followed. It is only a soft presence at the edge of everything, steady enough to stay, gentle enough to fade into the dark. The room is still. The bed is still. Your body can remain still too. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to become deeper right away. Nothing needs to prove that sleep has arrived. This moment can stay unfinished. It can stay soft. It can stay quiet. That is enough. Breath comes and goes on its own. You do not need to notice much about it now. You do not need to make it slower. You do not need to make it calm. It is already simple enough. It is already quiet enough. A breath comes in. A breath goes out. Then another. Then another. The body can keep sinking without effort. The shoulders can be heavy. The hands can be quiet. The legs can remain still. The face can stay soft. There is nothing to hold up now. If a thought appears, it can remain faint. If it fades, let it fade. If another one comes, Let it stay distant too. Thoughts do not need to be solved. They do not need to be completed. They do not need to stay. They can thin out. They can drift lower. They can become less clear. They can pass. Like rain at the window. There, and then less there. Soft, and then softer. Near, and then far. The room does not ask anything from you. The night does not ask anything from you. Even sleep does not ask anything from you now. You do not need to go toward it. You do not need to wait for it carefully. You can remain here, more quiet than before, more distant from effort than before. Less noticing. Less checking. Less holding on. The body often knows how to continue from here. It knows how to sink by small degrees. It knows how to grow heavier without a signal. It knows how to stay with darkness, warmth, stillness, and soft repetition. So let the body know. Let the bed hold the weight. Let the dark hold the room. Let the rain stay outside the window. Let this moment stay small. Nothing is missing. If sleep comes slowly, that is all right. If it comes in fragments, that is all right. If there is only drifting for a while, that is all right too. Drifting is close enough. Drifting is quiet enough. Drifting asks very little. And little is enough now. The rain does not change its mind. It remains soft. The room does not change its mind. It remains still. Your body does not need to change its mind either. It can keep moving in one calm direction, farther from thought, farther from effort, farther from the need to know anything. There is comfort in sameness now. The same dark window. The same soft rain. The same quiet room. The same resting body. Sameness is safe. You do not need sharp thoughts now. You do not need clear edges. You do not need to stay near the question of sleep. That question can drift away too. It does not need an answer tonight. Not yet. Not now. Rest first. Let the mind become dimmer. Let the body become heavier. Let the moment become less important. Let the night continue by itself. Nothing more is needed. The rain is only a soft blur at the edge. The bed is steady beneath you. The darkness does not ask to be understood. Everything can remain simple. Everything can remain unfinished. That is good. If awareness brightens for a moment, it can dim again. If the mind lifts for a moment, it can settle again. Nothing has to stay fixed. Nothing has to stay fully awake. The night is wide enough for soft returning. And soft returning is enough. The body can do less now. The mind can do less now. This moment can do less now. Only breath. Only stillness. Only darkness. Only rain. These are enough. Let the shoulders stay heavy. Let the jaw stay loose. Let the hands stay quiet. Let the legs stay still. No effort is needed there. If there is anything left to think, it can wait. If there is anything left unfinished, it can remain unfinished. If there is anything left unsolved, it can remain unsolved. None of it needs to cross this moment with you. This moment is smaller than that. A quiet room. A dark window. A soft sound of rain. A body resting more deeply now. And from here, there can be a little less thought, a little less noticing, a little less distance between drifting and sleep. Little by little. Softly. Without effort. Without needing to know. The night is quiet. The rain is still at the window, but it is far away now. You do not need to listen to it. You do not need to follow it. It can remain where it is, soft and distant, while everything here becomes even more still. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to deepen. Nothing needs to be checked. Nothing needs to be known. The body can rest as it is. Heavy enough. Quiet enough. Still enough. Breath comes and goes. That is all. It does not need help. It does not need to be slower. It does not need to be calmer. It is already simple. It is already small. It is already enough. A breath comes in. A breath goes out. Then another. Then another. No effort is needed there. If a thought appears, let it stay faint. If it fades, let it fade. If another comes, let that one stay faint too. Thoughts do not need to become clear now. They do not need to finish. They do not need to remain. They can pass. The room remains quiet. The bed remains steady. The darkness remains soft. The rain remains far away. Everything can stay the same. Sameness is enough now. You do not need to move toward sleep. You do not need to wait for sleep. You do not need to ask whether it is close. Those questions can be far away too. This moment does not need answers. It only needs less. Less thought. Less noticing. Less effort. Less holding on. That is enough. The body knows how to sink without being told. It knows how to stay still. It knows how to become quieter when nothing is calling it back. So let it do less now. Let the mind do less now. Let this moment become smaller and dimmer. Only stillness. Only breath. Only darkness. only soft rain far away. These are enough. If awareness brightens for a moment, it can dim again. If the mind lifts for a moment, it can settle again. Nothing has to stay fixed. Nothing has to stay awake. The night is wide enough for fading. And fading is enough. The shoulders can stay heavy. The hands can stay quiet. The face can stay soft. The legs can stay still. No effort is needed there. If sleep comes, let it come. If it is only drifting, let it be drifting. If it is only quiet, let it be quiet. Nothing more is required. Nothing more is missing. A quiet room. A dark window. A soft sound far away. A body resting. That is enough. The rain remains outside. The room remains still. The bed remains beneath you. The darkness remains gentle. You do not need to add anything to this moment. You do not need to remove anything from it. You can let it remain unfinished. You can let the next thought fade. You can let the next breath be ordinary. You can let the next moment pass quietly. You can let the night continue by itself. Nothing more is needed now. Little by little, everything can become dimmer. Not suddenly. Not completely. Just enough. Enough for the mind to stop standing near wakefulness. Enough for the body to remain where it is. Enough for the quiet to keep spreading. The room is quiet. The night is quiet. The rain is quiet. You can be quiet too. And now there can be less thought, less effort, less distance between this moment and sleep. Softly. Quietly. Without trying. Without needing to know. This is a calm 60-minute bedtime story for sleep. Nothing sudden will happen. Nothing will change quickly. You can simply listen and rest. Sleep does not need to stay right away. It can return softly, in its own time. If sleep has been slipping away tonight, you do not need to chase it. You can rest first, and let sleep come back gently. For now, being here is enough. Outside the window, the rain is steady and patient. It does not rush. It does not ask anything from you. It only falls in its own quiet rhythm, soft against the glass, soft along the dark edge of the night. You do not need to follow every word now. You do not need to hold on to any thought. You can let the sound of the rain be enough. The room is still. The air is calm. The light is low and gentle. Everything here is simple. Beyond the window, the night stretches out in layers of soft darkness. The glass holds a faint reflection of the room, a dim outline, a quiet glow, and beyond that, the rain continues. Some drops slide slowly down the window pane. Some gather for a moment, then drift lower. Some disappear into the dark, leaving only a trace. Nothing about it needs to be understood. It is only something gentle to be near. You are here, and that is enough. There is no need to solve this night. There is no need to fix your wakefulness all at once. If sleep comes, it comes. If it takes its time, that is all right too. You are not being tested. You are not late for sleep. You are simply resting beside the rain, one quiet moment at a time. The window seems to hold the whole night softly in place. Rain on the glass. Darkness beyond. Stillness within. And because everything is so steady, your mind does not have to stay alert. It can begin to loosen, slowly, naturally, without effort. Even if thoughts have been moving in circles, even if sleep has been light, even if rest has felt close and then far again, none of that needs to matter right now. Right now, there is only this room, this window, and the quiet sound of rain continuing without urgency. You can imagine the rain moving across the surface of the glass in thin silver paths. One line fades as another begins. A small bead of water trembles near the edge, then slides downward. Another drop follows, and another. There is no pattern you need to notice, no meaning to take from it. The rain simply repeats itself in the most peaceful way, over and over, until repetition itself becomes comfort. Nothing sudden will happen here. The room will stay quiet. The rain will stay gentle. The night will stay soft. If part of you is still listening for change, listening for interruption, listening for the moment something shifts, that part can rest too. This is not that kind of night. This is a quiet night. A slow night. A night that asks nothing more of you than to be here and listen if you want to, or drift if you want to, or simply lie still and let the minutes become softer around you. The bed beneath you is steady. The room around you is steady. The rain beyond the window is steady. You do not have to create calm. You are already inside it. Perhaps the rain sounds close at moments, as if it has come right up to the glass. Perhaps at other moments it seems farther away, blending with the larger quiet of the night. Both are gentle. Both are safe. The sound can stay near you without demanding attention. It can stay in the background, like a soft curtain between you and everything else. There is nowhere else to be. You do not have to return to the day. You do not have to prepare for tomorrow. You do not have to replay anything, improve anything, or understand anything tonight. Those things can wait far away from this moment. For now, the night is very small and very simple. A room. A window. Rain. Breath. Rest. The darkness outside is not empty. It is calm. It is full of quiet distance, quiet air, quiet space. The rain gives that darkness a shape you can feel without seeing clearly. It taps lightly. It brushes the glass. It moves in 1,000 tiny ways, all of them soft, all of them unimportant, and because they are unimportant, they are easy to leave alone. Easy to hear. Easy to drift beside. You can let your attention grow light now. Not fixed. Not sharp. Not effortful. If a thought arrives, it may pass like rain on the window. If another thought follows, it may pass the same way. You do not need to close the mind by force. You do not need to make the mind blank. You only need to stop working so hard to follow it. Let thoughts move the way water moves down the glass, appearing, lingering, slipping away. The room remains the same. The rain remains the same. The night remains the same. You are allowed to soften inside that sameness. Maybe there is comfort in the fact that the rain does not mind how awake you are. It does not measure your rest. It does not count the minutes. It simply keeps falling, patient and even, as if the whole night has enough time for you. As if there is no need to hurry toward sleep. As if rest can begin before sleep fully arrives. And rest can begin now. Not all at once, and not in a perfect way. Just a little. Just enough to feel the difference between holding on and letting go. Enough to feel that the night does not need to be pushed. Enough to feel that you can be carried by something quieter than effort. Outside the window, rainwater gathers at the edges and falls again. The glass cools the sound into something delicate. The room receives that sound and keeps it soft. Every part of the space seems to agree with every other part. Nothing is pulling in different directions. Nothing is asking to be resolved. The world, for this moment, is simple enough to rest in. You can stay here without trying. You can listen without concentrating. You can rest without succeeding. You can simply be. And if sleep has come and gone before, if it has felt near and then far, that is all right. Tonight does not have to be decided in one moment. Sleep does not have to stay immediately. It can return quietly. It can circle back without warning. It can arrive in small layers, like rain settling across the window, one soft line after another. So let this first part of the night be only this, a gentle arrival. Arrival in the room. Arrival beside the window. Arrival beside the rain. Arrival beside rest. The rain continues, steady and low. The window holds it. The darkness receives it. The room stays quiet around you. And you do not have to do anything at all, except remain here for this moment, while the sound of rain and the softness of the night begin, very slowly, to carry you farther from effort and closer to sleep.